Hi friends, very good afternoon to all of you. In the last class, we have discussed about the introduction of our subject Structural Design 1, in which the first module we have explained about the details about the topics what we are going to cover. Now, the first part of that module is the materials required for RCC. So that materials required for the RCC you have already studied in your previous semesters, I told you. So that's why I have given it as an assignment to be submitted on or before June 30th. Now, today in this session, we are going to discuss about a singly reinforced beam. What is the difference between a singly reinforced beam and a doubly reinforced beam? A singly reinforced beam means the reinforcement will be provided, the main reinforcement will be provided usually at the bottom in the case of a simply supported beam. Whereas in doubly reinforced beams on both sides, top and bottom, reinforcements will be provided to take the bending moment. Right? So here I have given the section of a singly reinforced beam of breadth B and depth D. This capital depth D is the overall depth of the beam, whereas small d is the effective length, that is the distance from the top to the center of the reinforcement. It is marked in the figure, that is small d, effective depth. Now, you can see at the bottom, main reinforcements are placed. It is written as tension reinforcement. You know that the concrete is very weak in tension. Therefore, to take the tensile stresses, we provide steel reinforcements at the bottom in simply supported beams. You know the difference between simply support beam and a cantilever beam. In simply support beam, the beam will bend with the concavity upwards. We already studied that. When due to the external loads, the beam will bend with the concavity upwards. Therefore, compression will occur at the top and tensile stress at the bottom. Right? So the concrete will be rich enough to take the compressive loads at the top layers, whereas it is very weak to take the tensile stresses below the particular layer. You know that there is the neutral layer or neutral axis of the beam, right? So to take the tensile stresses at the bottom, the steel reinforcements are provided at the bottom. So here it is written tension reinforcement. These are the sections of the tension reinforcements. And top, you can see hanger bars. Actually, these two bars are not provided for taking the loads to take the bending, resist the bending moment, but as a holding bar, it is provided at the top for holding the stirrups. What's the stirrup? It is a shear reinforcement. We have studied two actions on the beam, bending moment and shear force. For bending moment, we provide tensile reinforcement here, and to take the shear force, the stirrups are provided around the bars like this. So these are known as the stirrups. It is written here. So stirrups, tension reinforcement, hanger bars are the main bars in a singly reinforced beam. And at the bottom you can see cover. What do you mean by the cover? You might have seen while casting beams, the steel reinforcement will not be provided directly at the bottom, isn't it? There will be a gap in between the bottom and the layer of the reinforcement. That gap is known as the cover for the reinforcement. Why it is provided? You know that when it is directly placed at the bottom part, due to the atmospheric action, there is a possibility of corrosion of these reinforcements. So after casting, you might have seen number of buildings. Due to the improper cover, the bottom part of the beam will be corroded and the plastering at the bottom will be fall down. So in order to prevent that atmospheric action, usually a cover will be provided at the bottom. So this is the sectional view of a singly reinforced beam. It is very clear from the diagram itself and is written what are the specifications as per IS 456-2000. As per the code IS 456-2000 specifications, what are the values we have to take, right? Minimum reinforcement. When we design a singly reinforced beam, minimum reinforcement AST, what is AST? Area of steel is equal to 0.85 BD by Fy. 0.85 B, what is B? Breadth of the beam, and D is the effective depth of the beam, divided by Fy. What is Fy? Fy is the yield strength of the reinforcement, that is 415 Newton per mm square. 415 Newton per mm square, right? And that AST should not be less than 0.34% for MS bars. For mild steel bars, the AST value should not be less than 0.34% for mild steel bars and 0.2% for HYST bars. What is HYST? High yield strength deformed bars. High yield strength deformed bars. So you might have seen now the plain bars and HYST bars, MS bars without any ribs on the periphery of the reinforcement, that is MS bars. If ribs are there, no, that is different types of HYST bars are there. Accordingly, its yield strength will be different. So for this, Fy is equal to 415, and for AST MS bars it will be 250 Newton per mm square. That we will discuss when we solve problems on this. Now, so that's about the minimum reinforcement. Then what about the maximum reinforcements to be provided in a beam? How can we check? As per the code, that reinforcement, maximum reinforcement should not be greater than 0.04 B into D, where B is the breadth, D is the overall depth, right? D is the capital D is the overall depth, so that 0.04 into BD is the limit for maximum reinforcement, not greater than that value. Spacing between bars. While we provide the reinforcements here, what about the spacing between the bar, the center to center distance between the reinforcements? That is not less than diameter of the larger bar, the dia of the larger bar, nor less than the maximum size of coarse aggregate. CA means coarse aggregate plus 5 mm, whichever is greater. What is it? There are two, from which take the greater value. What are the two? Not less than diameter of the larger bar, nor less than the maximum size of CA plus 5 mm. Out of this, which is the greater value, whichever is greater, that should be taken as the spacing between the bars, the center to center distance between the bars, as per the code. So that's what I told you. All these values we are choosing from the code only, the authorized values from the code. And cover, this cover, how much to be provided? For the cover, not less than 25 mm, not less than the diameter of the bar. So the diameter of the bar and 25 mm you compare from this to be taken, not less than 25 mm, not less than the diameter of the bar. From this, select the cover. Then curtailment. What do you mean by curtailment? Curtailment means, you might have seen while casting the beam, when we put reinforcement, the length of the reinforcement will be curtailed at some distances. Curtailment. So that curtailment to be provided as per the clause 2623 of IS 456-2000. So when we do problems, I will discuss about the curtailment, at what points to be curtailed the beam reinforcements. And these are the hooks you can see here. So this is stirrup here with the two hooks here at the two corner points, right? So these are the holder reinforcements, holder bars, and these are the main reinforcements. This is the U-shaped stirrups, right? Stirrups to hold these bars together and to take the shear stresses. And the tensile reinforcements provided at the bottom to take the tensile stresses. This type of beam is known as a singly reinforced beam. I think it's clear to you, the diagram and the explanation, and I'll give you the notes also, the printed notes to you, and copy down that notes and to be submitted on time. Okay, that's it. Thank you one and all. We'll meet you again in the next class.